The gang starts off their latest game with Tom, who plays a tap and dot the Triumph. Then Extra plays a Thundering Falls tapped and surveils a card to the top. Sam plays a Yavimaya Coast and loses 1 life to cast an Elvish Mystic. While John ends the first turn cycle with a Swamp and the Fairy Dream Thief, surveilling a card to the graveyard. As Tom takes his second turn, he plays a Corrupted Crossroads and casts it that heralds the end, before passing. Extra then starts his own turn with a Sulphur Falls, then casts Soul Ring. He then proceeds to cast Charming Scoundrel, making a treasure, and passes the turn to Sam. Sam plays an island and casts his commander, OMO, Queen of Vesuva, giving an everything counter to Elvish Mystic and Yavimaya Coast. John plays the Llanowar Waste for turn, then plays the ramping duo of Arcane Signet and Ignoble Hierarch, followed by an attack at Extra with his Dream Thief, who gains a slight buff due to Hierarch. After that, he passes back to Tom. Tom plays a Vault of Champions, then casts Eldrazi Displacer, and uses Herald to attack at Extra. Once the damage is dealt, Tom passes. Extra plays a Pillar Verge Pathway, and casts his commander, Satya, Aetherflux Genius. He then goes to combat, attacking John with Satya and Scoundrel. Satya triggers, making 2 energy, and a copy of Scoundrel attacking John, which makes a treasure. In his end step, Extra decides to sacrifice Scoundrel and let the turn go to Sam. Sam plays an island and casts a Cold-Eyed Selkie, followed by a Findhorn Elves. He then swings OMO at John, triggering her effect on an island and a Selkie. Before passing the turn, John plays a Garplusion Forest for a turn. He casts his commander, Disa the Restless. He then goes to combat, attacking Extra with Dream Thief for 2, thanks to Hierarch. Extra takes the hit, triggering Disa to make a Tarmogoyf token. John then passes back to Tom. Tom plays a Garplusion Forest of his own, then proceeds to cast Eyeless Watcher, making 2 Eldrazi Scions when it enters. He moves to combat, swinging all out at Extra for 6, before giving him the turn. Extra first casts Claim Jumper, getting himself a tapped Rogrin Triumph. He plays an island for turn, then casts Cavalier of Gales, drawing 3 cards and returning 2 to the top. He then attacks Sam with Satya, triggering his effect to copy Cavalier, sending it at John, while again drawing 3 and returning 2. In his end step, Cavalier is sacrificed due to the lack of energy, triggering its effect to shuffle the deck and scry 2. With that done, he passes. Sam plays a Lord of the Unreal, then casts 3 visits, and Rampant Growth, one after the other, getting 2 forests in total. He proceeds to attack Extra with his Selkie, triggering its effect to draw 2, before proceeding to pass the turn to John. John plays a tapped Smoldering Marsh, then immediately goes to combat, attacking Sam with Disa and Tom with Dream Thief. Both connect, triggering Disa to make 2 more Tarmogoyfs. In his second main, he casts Rakdos the Muscle, and passes the turn back to Tom. Tom's only play for the turn is an Urza's Incubator on Eldrazi, and the pass. Extra plays a Glacial Fortress for turn, and casts a Peregrine Drake, using its effect to untap 5 lands, followed by a Terror of the Peaks. He then swings Satya at Sam, and Cavalier at John, triggering Satya to try and make a copy of Terror. Unfortunately for Extra, Tom has already seen plenty of Terror, so he decides to cast Infernal Grasp on it, paying 3 life for cost. Sam and John then take the hit, and the turn is passed to Sam. Sam plays a Rejuvenating Springs, then casts Master of the Pearl Trident. He then plays Seshiro the Anointed, before swinging his Selkie and OMO it extra, triggering OMO to give a forest and herself a counter. Extra takes the damage, triggering Seshiro and Selkie to draw a total of 7 cards, before passing the turn. John plays a Command Tower for turn, then Farseeks for a Commercial District, surveilling to the graveyard. He then casts Hope of Girapur and goes to combat, attacking Tom with Dream Thief, Extra with Rakdos, and Sam with Disa and 3 Goyfs. Since no one decided to block, John decides to activate Rakdos, sacrificing Hope of Girapur, giving itself indestructible, exiling the top card, and adding an extra type to the graveyard. Once the damage is dealt, Disa triggers, making 3 new Goyfs, and in his second main, John casts the exiled Shadowheart, Dark Justicar, and passes it back to Tom. Not finding a land, Tom is again left with a single spell and his commander, Ulalek, Fused Atrocity. Disappointed in his future prospects, he passes. Extra first casts Mondrak, Glory Dominus, followed by Voldaren Thrillseeker, adding 2 counters to Cavalier. He then attacks John with the Amped Cavalier, and Sam with Satya and Peregrine. Satya triggers, making 2 Cavaliers going at Sam, drawing 3 and returning 2 twice. Sam blocks Satya with everything he has, but still succumbs to the Flying Army. In his second main, Extra plays a Prairie Stream tap, and on end of his turn, pays to keep 1 Cavalier, while sacrificing the other to shuffle and scry 2. After all that, John sacrifices Dream Thief with Rakdos, in order to exile a card for future use on his turn. John plays said exiled card, that being an access tunnel. He then uses Shadowheart to sacrifice Disa, triggering Rakdos to exile 5, and draw 5 with Shadowheart. Next is Heir of Falconwrath, before sending Rakdos and 6 Goyfs at extra, who is only able to block 4 of them, and dies to the rest. John then plays 3 more spells, in Tormented Soul, Elvish Mystic, and Phoenix of Ash, before passing back to the landless Tom. Tom misses another land drop, and casts Dread Drone, making 2 Eldrazi spawns. With nothing else, he passes to John, who still in the end step, uses Rakdos to sacrifice Phoenix, exiling his top 3. Once exiled, John adds Rakdos to the pile with his Swords to Plowshares, hoping to reduce his strength a bit. John plays a Sulphurous Springs for turn, then transforms the Heir by discarding a card. Next he casts Invasion of Urgamon, making a treasure, discarding, and drawing a card. He then escapes Phoenix of Ash from his graveyard, and attacks Tom with everything but Shadowheart. Tom chumps a Goyf with his Watcher, and John activates Phoenix twice, giving it +4/+0. Once the damage is dealt, he passes. Tom decides to do as much as he can, so he activates Displacer, tapping down Shadowheart, followed by an all-out attack at John, which ends in Tom's eventual concession to the Tarmogoyf army.